Hey, I'm meteorologist Doug Myers with the latest look at your forecast on this Monday. Yesterday, we had highs in the 50s with rainfall, and areas along and south of I-70 got the more meaningful rainfall across the area, with getting up to an inch indicated by the blues around the Council Grove Emporia area. And so that is putting Emporia a little bit above average for the month, but still behind for the rest of northeast Kansas, at least at the official airports in the Topeka, Manhattan, and Concordia area. We may get a few more spotty showers today, maybe even some thunderstorms, but for the most part, we'll end up being drier than yesterday. But we will be monitoring a cold front pushing through the area today, and so be aware of that. In fact, taking a look at our supercast with our wind chill values, down to 30 degrees in Concordia at 8 o'clock and pretty much stuck there through much of the morning hours, still at 29 at noon, 39 in Clay Center, warming into the 60s for our eastern communities, and then many spots in the mid to upper 60s for our eastern communities this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So it is going to be the typical warming trend through the day in our eastern communities, while it does start to cool down in our western communities. And then once again into the 7 o'clock hour, you'll notice that that cold front is starting to impact more of our central communities, and then certainly our eastern communities will get into some of the colder air fairly quickly during the evening hours. And so by tomorrow morning, many spots will be in the teens to low 20s for wind chill values, so be prepared for that. As far as today is concerned, we'll call it a mix of sun and clouds. I can't completely rule out some showers at times, maybe even some thunderstorms, but most of today will be dry into the late afternoon hours. Along and east of Highway 75, ahead of that frontal boundary, will be wind storms or wave storms will develop at some point in time late this afternoon, and then pushing off to the east fairly quickly during the evening hours. By 8, 9 o'clock, certainly most of that activity will be out of the area, but on its doorstep, some snow out towards Concordia and central Kansas, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. But as far as the severe weather risk is concerned, there is a low risk for quarter-size hail and perhaps 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts east of Highway 75. Unlikely to get a tornado, but certainly something that we'll be keeping an eye on in the late afternoon hours. Meanwhile, as the colder air replaces the mild air, For tonight, we will have precipitation tonight and perhaps some snow. Now, because surface temperatures are going to be still warm and above freezing, at least I should say, for most areas during the time precipitation falls, not expecting a whole lot of accumulation. I still can't rule out an inch of accumulation in some areas, especially for our western communities where it's going to be colder. But for most areas, not going to be a problem as far as accumulation is concerned. There still might be some slick spots tomorrow morning. Doesn't take much, and then we'll have decreasing clouds through the day tomorrow, and once again into Tuesday night, Wednesday, maybe just passing clouds, but still generally mostly sunny on Wednesday. All right, so here's a look at Supercast with our winds. Not quite as bad as yesterday. Wind gusts today only up to 25-30 miles per hour, but those winds shifting over to the northwest tonight, and that's where they could increase a little bit, 30 to 35 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow morning, and then more in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range through the day tomorrow. Storm spotter training classes over the next three. You can see the next one will be Wednesday in Emporia, Thursday in Manhattan, and then next Tuesday in McFarland in Wabunsee County. So those are the next three upcoming. And after today and tonight's precipitation, that's it for the rest of the week precipitation-wise. We might get some precipitation next week, maybe late Monday afternoon with some storms. So you'll notice that we're in for a warming trend, especially after tomorrow's chilly day in the 40s. Back in the 50s on Wednesday, and then 60s and 70s will be with us towards the end of the week and weekend. As far as our extended outlooks are concerned, probability of wetter than normal conditions in both the 6 to 10, 8 to 14 day outlook. So that'll be something that we'll keep an eye on, especially for the early part of next week, on the possibility that some precipitation may return to the area. But of course, we're going to be keeping an eye on those cold temperatures below freezing for these next couple of nights. So be prepared for that. Wednesday morning being the coldest of them all. And then we're warming back into the 40s for lows towards the end of the week and weekend, and those highs getting on the mild side as well. It's going to stay breezy. There isn't really going to be one day, at least during the daytime hours, that will have light winds, but at night it does start to die down, especially Tuesday night. With those winds diminishing. That's what's going to allow for those colder temperatures by Wednesday morning, is because of the clear skies and calm winds. And so be prepared for that. as you head into the next couple of days. Have a great day. Stay weather aware on the risk for a few strong to severe storms. And if by chance the forecast changes with the snowfall forecast tonight and the snowfall totals, we'll let you know. But for most areas, probably a trace to maybe up to half inch, mainly on grassy surfaces.